everyone? Another week in the garage, working on the GT86. So pulled down all the motors. You've probably seen in the previous video. If you haven't, I'll put the link up here. Yeah, the plan now is to load this one up here, go down to Brian, Dave, and the team at Phillip Heads. Let's load it up and take it down. So the plan with this motor basically is it's only an LS1, so I'm trying to use the standard crank rods and pistons. Just put new rings, bearings, new cam bearings. I've ordered a new VCM cam, so that way the tune should be pretty much the same. I've found some of my Lenardi tie bar lifters, so put them in as well. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then after time attack, I plan to build another bigger motor, or maybe something completely different. We'll see. I guess you have to tune in for that after time attack to see what I decide. Okay. Here at Phillip Heads, they've let me come in after hours because they know I've got a bit of a deadline. So there's the motor there. So it's just an LS1. It's been all cleaned, been through the pickler. So just gave it a bit of a light hone. You can see a few little marks here, but to be honest, they won't matter at all. It'll seal up, no problems. Deck the block. We've got the crank in there now. Brand new cam bearings. So yeah, just in the process now of all the pistons and everything have been cleaned. Just resizing the rings, just setting the tolerance on them. When you get a set of rings, you can't just presume they're going to be the right tolerance. So you grab a ring, you put it in the bore, you wind it into there, and then you measure with a feeler gauge through there, which is here. These ones are a little bit tight, so you put it onto this, and by winding this you can actually take a little bit of material off, and then you check it again and good to go. So I've got the oil pump apart. This is just the mellings. I've given this a good clean. Gonna put that back together. BCM 16 cam, Lenardi lifters, they've all been cleaned off, obviously all of the bolts and everything. Yeah, ARP head bolts, obviously ARP rod bolts. Okay guys, just got back from Phillip Heads. I've got the motor all together. Just gonna give the Gemini a quick vacuum and a clean. Got cars and coffee tomorrow. Then obviously grab the motor out of here and put it back in over there. All right, let's get to it. Okay, this is something I've just come across. Done a lot of LSs over the years, mainly running LS2s like L98s. L77s, so I've only done one or two LS1s, but yeah, so you've got the valley covers here. As you can see, two have breathers, and all my catch can setup is made for breathers. So that one has the breather at the front, that's LS2. But yeah, this one's LS1, and I was planning to run that so I could run my breather. Unfortunately, this piece here hits that there on this one. So this is like one of the very first LS1 iterations. Obviously I'm running an LS2 front cover, so I can run the crank angle sensor. But that there interferes with that, so then you can't run the breather on that. So I've just had to clean up this one. A bit worried about not having enough crankcase breathing, but I'm sort of stuck without a choice. So yeah, just to show you again, so this is LS1. You've got this little piece here, which I have no idea what that's for. If you come over here, yeah, a lot of LS blocks. So this one here, it's LS2 6 litre. So yeah, there you go. So that's LS1 as well. And as you can see, no little tab there. So yeah, it's quite odd that, you know, within LS1 iterations you've got such a difference. But okay, anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys that because it's something I've not seen before. I just wanted to walk you through the process of doweling the harmonic balancer for supercharger applications. This kit here is made by Harrop. So what it comes with, you take your bolt out, you bolt this in. So we use a double dowel system. That'll bolt in place of that. Then you drill it to a prescribed depth. I've already got it marked in tape because I've done it a couple of times before. You put that in, you drill it, then you ream it with this ream that comes in the kit as well, and then that's just to obviously, you know, fine tune the tolerance, and then these little dowels go in. So yeah, so again, that there, I'll try and show you down here. This balance has already been doweled, so you can see the 2 half moons there. So those 2 halves, obviously we need to chase that again now, and you'll bolt this kit, this one into here, and then you'll line those 2 holes up there, tighten that up, then you go in with the drill. And the goal is to take a bit like what a keyway would do, but the keyway on the LS cranks doesn't come all the way out to the balancer. So you want to take half out of the balancer, half out of the crank, put a dowel in, and then obviously that can't spin. Running an 8 PK balancer here, so this balancer obviously has a lot of pressure on it, and running the twin superchargers, I personally don't think it would slip, but that being said, you know, the kit's there for a reason. So yeah, let's go and do this. Make sure you get the tapered end in like that. Tapered end in, and there you go, all doweled, ready to be tightened up. So this is why after a blow up, especially a big blow up, why you should always pull your intake manifold apart. Obviously this is a modular section. That's the top there. I've already cleaned that. But yeah, as you can see in there, just full of metal. Yeah, metal, oil, coolant. So yeah, always give it a good oil clean.
In America,
Yeah.
So now I have to do like lovely the tag the tray over here in front of the den. Here I am, Dada.
There you are.
I just came zooming into the garage.
Ah, good job. Okay, today's startup day for the 86. Got a little bit to do. So basically she's all in there now. Just got to put some coil packs back on, bleed the coolant system, all the injectors and everything have been all clean. So drain the fuel out of the tank and put some fresh fuel in. I'll put just some unleaded because the car itself has a dual map like the ECU, so I can run on E85 or unleaded. So I'll run on unleaded because it'll be parked up for 2 months. Once it's running, just got to put the shifter and that back in, take out these jerry cans. That's what Sebastian uses when he wants to get in there and sit there and steer. So yeah, getting close, put the tail shaft in, put the gearbox oil in and fire it up. Yeah.
I heard it's going.
Did ya?
High five, eh?
I'm forgetting it's going.
Thanks, sweetie. Okay, back in the garage for another day. Had to pull up stumps yesterday. Basically got the car fired up, had the laptop all plugged in, and yeah, so at idle or coming off down towards idle, it was running low oil pressure around 10 psi. So today the plan is to get in there and see what's going on. I'll change the filter just in case, like, you know, almost certainly won't be a block filter, but no harm in trying that. So yeah, do filter. I'm going to drop the oil, just see that there's nothing untoward in the oil. And yeah, and obviously another thing to check is oil pressure sensor. You know, even though the sensor was fine when I pulled the motor out, there's, you know, no harm in just chucking another one in there, especially if you've got a spare. If the oil sensor doesn't fix it, the new oil and filter doesn't fix it, kind of no choice. I'll have to pull either the motor out or the front of it off with LSs to get to the pickup on the oil pump. You have to drop the sump as well. So I might, as I say, pull the motor out, or alternatively put the brace on, hold the motor, drop the cross member, drop the sump. There's a thing with the LSs where the oil pickup goes into the pump itself. You have 3 different coloured O-rings on them. There's a black O-ring, a red O-ring, or a green O-ring. On the pickups, there's 3 different ways that they clip in, or 3 different style pickups. There's a parallel, there's one that's flared, and then there's one with a notch. And based on that literature, we should be running the black one, and that's what I've put in. But it's a well-known thing that even the smallest leak in that pickup, whether it's a damaged O-ring or whether it's the wrong O-ring, will give pretty much exactly the symptoms we've got right now. So yeah, so I'll get into it now. So no oil at the sender, so it's probably compressing air. Let's see what happens. Okay, we have oil now. There's definitely no oil on that at all. It's pouring out. So, finally got to the bottom of the oil pressure problems. Went through the process of just trying to drill down as to what it was. Basically checked all the different things you could check, like opened the port up at the back to see that the barbell had moved in the back of the oil gallery. Yeah, it just went over basically everything. Changed filters just in case the filter was blocked, even though it was a new filter, but you never know. And yeah, like I didn't want to have to do it, but I kind of knew I was going to have to do it. So basically, long and short, as you can see here behind this mess, I've got suspension everywhere. Motor's basically just hanging there at the moment by a couple of jacks. Cross members under here. Don't mind that old oil pan, obviously that's disgusting, that's not one that I would ever use. So yeah, so basically long and short of it, you hear these stories of like the oil pump pickups, the O-ring super crucial. Yeah, and I've never had an O-ring pinch or anything, so I couldn't imagine it was a pinched O-ring, but you know, I'm flying to Europe in a couple of days, so I was running out of time. So bit the bullet, dropped the cross member, dropped the sump, pulled the pickup off and looked at the O-ring, and so that there is a standard GM supplied O-ring. You can see the thickness of it there. They're brown in color. So with the Mellings, they supply it with a couple of different O-rings, well, 3 different O-rings usually. So basically a green, a black, but it's usually an OEM size black, and a red. Now, based on the pickup, because on these there's either a tapered one, which is 6 thou tapered, or a parallel one, or then there's also one with a groove in there. That dictates what O-ring you're normally meant to run. Based on the pickup I've been using, should have been the black one. That's the old one, as I said, out of one of my old pumps just here. That's the one I had in there. I visibly see the thickness difference there. And yeah, as soon as I pull the pickup off, I could just tell it was too loose. Put the red one that came supplied with the Mellings, and just fired it up and full oil pressure again. So that's a massive like load off. I've got like a day or two now to put it all together, park it up, and then go to Europe for 2 months, and then pretty much when I get back, it'll be just all hands on deck. Give it a bit of a birthday before time attack. But yeah, she's running, so I'll just start her up for you. Good oil pressure. I'm obviously massively relieved. Yeah, for a fully rebuilt motor, the last thing obviously you'd want to do is actually strip the whole motor down again, but yeah, O-ring, and she's good to go. You know, a massive thank you to Philip Heads, Brian, Dave, everyone up there. Basically they let me post up in one of the corners of the workshop there, and use all the machines and everything, so I'm massively thankful to them for that, but at least it's all back together now. Yep, so she looks like a car again. She all runs. When I get back from Europe, I'll give the car a bit of a new look, and yeah, we'll go from there.